Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion on Bhagavad Gita. So, this is on Gita marathon program, sorry, Sastra marathon program that we are involved in now. And all right, so today is 15th March 2025, Thursday. So, today is a Gita day. Thursday and Friday is a Gita day.
May, Prabhu. Sorry, you said March.
Oh, yeah, 15th May. What did I say just now?
March, Prabhu.
Oh, March. Okay. Okay. I'm still, okay. So 15th May 2025, Thursday. All right. So thanks, Mataji, for correcting. So today we gathered to continue our discussion, and we are still discussing on we are still on introduction part. The introduction part was fantastic, actually. If you really look at it, Prabhupada is giving a summary of every chapter. In this chapter, what you see, in this chapter, what you see, is giving a very nice summary on every chapter, so that once we go into the chapter, we can relish it. So, or in other words, what are the things to be expected to be known in that particular chapter? So that's the thing that is giving us the introduction, right? So before we do that, let's do our invocation prayer. So to invoke auspiciousness and blessings from our Guru Varga, so that our studies will be successful. And the most important is we can understand the subject matter, and we can absorb and we can practice. All right. So let's do it. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapad Kamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagara Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajivam Saadvaita Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidam Cha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasachare Sitarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devidaitai Kripabdai Krishna Sambandha Viknanadai Ne Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Chola Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudha Pasidanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Pujaite Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumestam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneswari Vrishabhanu Sri Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivishari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivishari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtai Bhutale Srimati Jaya Pataka Swami Namni Ramacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradaya Gaura Kata Damadaya Nagar Gramatarine. Okay, thank you all for coming today. So today we're going to continue our discussion. See how many of you are here today. All right. Okay, great. So anything before we start, anything you want to share, any takeaway or any transformation that you have experienced yesterday or day before, or something that you have not experienced, suddenly you start to experience? Anything, anyone want to share something? So first of all, I want to ask, have you all started doing that journal? Who haven't started journal yet? So silence means no one. Oh, Nandari Mataji have started journal. Very nice. So how do you find Mataji since you start doing journaling? Let me share.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, after writing down these things, I find that I'm able to correct myself.
Mhm,
Um, like I can see what are the things that I'm wasting time on, and which I should just stop giving up that and concentrating more on reading all these
mhm,
things. But there's only one thing that I'm still addicted to. I
mm.
used to play the Sudoku game online.
Sudoku.
Sudoku. Yeah, it's with numbers,
Okay.
so it's, I
What?
mean, it actually is supposed to enhance your brains. So I
Okay.
used to do that. Okay, that is one thing which I've still not given up, but I've reduced. But
Oh, okay, okay. It's a
I've
game. It's a game.
reduced.
It's not a
Yeah,
game.
it's a good. Yeah, yeah. I play it on the phone.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
So
Sudoku.
during like after lunch, after having my lunch all finished, I'll just sit down for a while. I'll play once, morning once, evening once. I used to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one thing I've still not given up. Okay. But the rest of it, like you were saying, like the social media, this Facebook, all that,
Hmm.
it's actually, sometimes I just feel like, oh, I haven't gone into it. I have no time for it.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
I'm concentrating more on reading, like usually like your books. So like I always have this habit of reading before I go for classes. So I'm concentrating on that and also continuing my whole readings of Bhagavad and all this. So
Hmm.
so my only bad habit now is sticking onto the Sudoku online game.
Sudoku,
Slowly I'll
Sudoku.
give up. Yeah, I'll give it up. I've got
Ah,
very addicted to that. I noticed. I realized
mhm.
that.
Yes, nice.
Yeah, that's
So
about it. Really.
that means you can check and balance your life. Huh? That means your life is
Yes, yes,
it's not random.
correct, correct. It's actually a very good habit. It's a good habit to jot down things, what we are doing, and then go back to it. But I
Hmm.
used to like read at night. My final writing. I mean, actually, I have not. I have difficulty in writing because of my hand problem. But I will just
Hmm.
slowly just make summaries and put it there. And then
Hmm.
at night, I will just, before I go to sleep, my last one, whatever I want to write, I'll write. Then I just go through and see. Okay, I know where are my defects. Okay, what
Hmm.
I should eliminate from my life and all these things are okay. It actually really helps.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
A good
Yes.
attitude. I
Oh,
used to have this habit of writing down of my expenses.
oh,
Whatever
okay.
I spend every day, I used to write down. Okay, and then later, like end of the week, I will see, okay, what is not necessary. So the journal is also helping me in that way. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So end of the day, every Sunday make a review for a week,
Okay.
and and also you can put you can get a graph paper. You can
Mm-hmm.
get a graph paper and just say it like, okay, now example, okay, take the graph paper, divide into two. All right,
Mm-hmm.
just put a zero here and
Mm.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50 to 100 and -10, -20, -30 to -100. You know,
Okay.
so what
Mm-hmm.
you can start to plot, right? You just can set your own goals, own rules, or your own rules, right? How much I've progressed today? Huh? So how much I've progressed?
Mm-hmm.
Say like for instance, okay, today I have example. Okay, now you plot 10. You put a dot on the 10.
Mm-hmm.
After that, put the week 1, week 2,
Okay.
week 3, or what? Say like
Okay.
now it's supposed to be second week of May. All right, say like you're
Okay.
starting week of May. So you just put a plot. Then after that, see how much your progress. Okay, now your progress 10%. Okay, 10%. Then after that, next week review again. Have you progressed or are you decreased? So
Mm-hmm.
you down to 5. That means the graph. So like that, when you do, all right, when you
Okay.
start to realize that where are you heading?
Okay. 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 Mm.
Sometimes
Yes.
so quite normal. See, when you start to chant and everything, suddenly
Mm.
a time will come. Suddenly you have no mood to chant. Suddenly you
Mm-hmm.
lose. And you'll be
Yeah,
wondering what is happening, you know?
Mm,
You'll be
mm,
wondering, what happened to me? No need, because you become so familiarized, That
mm,
means you haven't got the taste, but you become like for instance, when you first meet your husband, you'll be like
mm,
loving him so much. But after you get used to
mm,
it, you fight with him.
mm, 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 mm,
So when once you become familiar, so
mm.
to avoid that, this graph will help you, right?
Okay.
Okay, now you fell down. No? Sometimes you feel very guilty, and sometimes, especially, it's quite astonishing that especially in devotional service, the
Mm-hmm.
Maya is there to some or other confuse you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you see, how come I don't feel like I don't have taste. Then you become very confused. Did I offend anyone? Did I do anything wrong? Did I do this? Just on lamentation itself, you're going to end up not chanting for days.
Mm, mm,
When you go to start chanting, you'll be like, your tongue will become numb again, right?
right. Right.
You have to like sometimes, if in a, if you're living in a snow country, yeah, you have to make sure that your car is on. See, like certain places, they don't off the car. The engine will be
Mm-hmm.
running. When they go back home, the engine will be running because they off
Oh,
the engine.
okay.
If they off the engine, even the what they call, even the oil, everything will become freeze, so they cannot start the
Okay.
engine. So they let the
Mm,
engine on. You know,
mm,
in
mm.
Russia, especially, that's one of place where called coldest country in the world. They don't off the
Mm.
engine. The engine will be running 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Mm,
So once the engine is off, then you're going to struggle back to start. That means you take a hot water, pour on the engine, heat it up.
mm,
So much of effort. So now,
mm,
when you put the
mm,
graph going up and suddenly come down, okay, it's okay. Never mind. Just whether you got taste or no taste, whether you're attentive
mm,
or not attentive, just simply chant. Just vibrate your tongue. I mean, not to
mm,
worry whether I'm getting ecstasy or what. Just simply chant. Just chant. Just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What's the meaning? I know someone by the name of Hari. I know someone by the name of Krishna. I know someone by the name of Rama. Just think about them and just say, hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna. But your mind is thinking about these guys. Doesn't matter.
mm,
Just chant. Then after
mm,
that, suddenly the taste will come back. So when you
mm,
put the graph, then you start
mm.
to realize whether you're going up or you're coming down.
Okay, okay, okay.
So sometimes you come negative
Okay.
0, negative 10, then
Mm,
that's when you start to when you compare yourself with what they call, when you're comparing with your uh, the things that you do, the notes that you take about yourself, what you have done.
mm.
So you what they call, you check and balance.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Journaling is
So,
very important.
yeah, yeah. It's true.
Mm.
So
And
helpful.
then I just want to share with you something regarding that. You say that you're addicted to some Sudoku game or something like that.
Sudoku,
So
Sudoku. Yeah.
Sudoku, okay. So
Sudoku.
okay. So now I know a person who are addicted to what they call to watching drama.
Uh-huh.
There is a must for them to watch drama. So that means first
Mm,
thing they do Mangalarti, they do chanting. After the chanting, pop, they on the drama. They must watch one drama.
mm,
Then after
mm,
that, they go to the next serial. Then after that, they
mm,
go and offer food. Then after that, while offering food, also they watch serial. And when they
mm,
are having prasadam, they must watch serial. It's a kind of addiction. When they drive, they put the serial, all right, like that.
mm, mm,
So
mm,
they say that after they start to do journaling, the
mm,
serial, like, so for 15, 20 minutes or something like that. And they will start
mm,
to think, contemplate. In that serial, in half an hour serial, I could have
mm,
just done three rounds.
mm, mm,
So studying. Now one day I watch serial maybe say like 5 times. So
mm,
5 times of serial, I could just replace it with 15 rounds. So I
mm,
do 16 rounds. If I add another 15 rounds,
mm,
wow, it's 31 rounds.
mm,
So they just tried. They just tried. And today, now they're saying they totally lost taste on serial.
mm.
They got nothing
Okay.
to do with the thing. They just see, okay, what is happening? They just
Mm,
like, that's true, so leceh. Then go to the next one. Is there anything interesting? Yeah, go. That means the addiction start to reduce.
mm, mm, mm. Okay.
Uh, what they call the journaling. Today,
Mm,
I've wasted 30 minutes of my time watching this serial.
mm,
If I just could convert it to japa, it is 3 rounds. So
yes.
108 times 3,
Mm,
right? 108 times 3. So example, now I give you example. say like for instance, when you look at these, like how many hours do you play what Sudoku?
And not hours, Prabhu. I don't spend hours on it. It's maybe like about 10 minutes.
10
It's
minutes.
like
How
10
many
minutes.
times in a week?
Um, last time, to relax my mind, now and then I'll play. But now I think, maybe in the afternoons after lunch,
So total
once, about 5, 10, 15 minutes. That's about it.
for the whole day.
Yes, yes. 10,
Oh,
15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes. That's all. It's just a number game where they have columns and then you fill in number 1 to 9 in each of the column. Okay.
okay.
So when you open the game, some numbers are already given and then you just play with the numbers. You just insert the numbers. That's all. It's supposed to
Okay.
be good for the brain. So I used to do that. So now
Yeah,
I'm a
but
bit addicted.
example,
But,
like that person who are
uh,
watching, so they
uh,
roughly spend say like 30 minutes watching serial. Example,
mm,
30 minutes, they could do 3 rounds. So 108
mm,
times 3 rounds means it's roughly 324 names they could chant.
mm, mm, mm,
324 names roughly, when you look at Krishna is equivalent to 3,000 names. Rama is equivalent to what? No, what was the calculation? Every word of no, Krishna is 3,000 names, Rama is 1,000 names. You know,
mm,
just
mm,
imagine
mm,
we have 16,000 times 16,000 names. So
mm.
roughly they could chant 5,184 names
Mm.
in half an hour. Do it in half an hour. Oh, but the addiction still there. You know, habit, HABIT. When you remove H, a bit is there. When you remove A, bit. When you remove B, eat. You know, like that, I actually give up. Anyway,
Luckily, I don't have this habit of watching serials from those days. From
uh,
working days till today, I don't like to sit on
nowadays
serials and watch.
serials are very addictive. You know,
Mm,
what I'm telling, even like myself, I was just
mm,
curious what is serial. I just touch one serial and I could
mm,
and I end up got addicted to that. Can't wait for tomorrow.
mm,
You know,
mm. I never
until
used
the
to watch because I don't I didn't want to create this habit of watching serials because I didn't want my daughter also to get addicted.
yeah.
So this thing was created from those days. So I don't spend my time watching serials.
Mm.
Uh, I was
That's
more on
why,
like,
thank God, because of these classes and all these back-to-back sessions,
yes, correct.
until that is when I just thought, wasting my time watching serial, because now doing this,
Yeah, yeah.
I have time to chant. From watching serial, I convert to chanting everything.
Mm, It is so nice. Doing chanting is so nice. Reading Bhagavad and all the other Prabhupada's books, it's wonderful. Keeps you, it's a different kind of feeling, lah. Prabhu keeps me
Yeah,
feeling happy inside instead of doing other things and talking unnecessarily.
correct, correct. Very blissful, very fulfilling.
Correct, correct. And if I don't do my chanting, I cannot look at Prabhupada on my altar. I'll feel
Mm.
very guilty. Yes, I'll feel very guilty. And if I go to temple, so I cannot look at Prabhupada. If I sometimes, last time I used to like weekends, maybe I will just oversleep. So morning I
Mm.
don't get to chant. And then like Sundays when I go to temple, I will tell myself, I mean, I'll chant later. But when I go to temple, when I pay obeisance to Prabhupada, I'll feel very guilty. I cannot look at him. I cannot look
Wow,
at
that's a very
him.
good thing.
Then slowly I said, no, I cannot be like this. So now I make sure no matter what, even if I have to sleep late at times, okay, never mind. I will still get up and do my chanting and later I'll take a short nap.
Mm.
Do that. Because the guilty feeling inside me is very, how do I say? I feel very scared. Not just guilty, I feel very scared to look at Rupa if I don't chant.
True.
Mm.
So anyway, what we can learn from this is those who are watching on Zoom, I mean online, when you come to YouTube, watch this. And of course, those who are here, this journaling really works. If you have not started doing journal, please start doing your journal from today onwards. What is journal? Simply write down what are the things you have done and what is the effect when it comes to spiritual life. Anything that going to be a stumbling block in your chanting, going to be a stumbling block in your reading, or any challenges that you may face, right? All these things are because of little things that we are not looking into it. That means we just take it, okay lah, no problem, Therefore, make a journal, and journal really helps. Of course, Nanda Devi Mataji was giving a fantastic testimony about how the journal works on her. So like that, I hope that everyone will start doing journaling. And journaling is basically you are regulating your life. Okay. So if anyone wants to know how to go for it for journaling, you can also contact me personally. I can explain to you. All right. So now let's start today's continuous discussion. So last week we were at this what they call paragraph. Okay, just to recap, Prabhupada explaining about the distinction between Jiva and Ishvara. Okay, the distinction, that means the difference between these things will be explained. We learned that in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. All right, and the Lord, what we understand is the Lord as a Kshetranya, and we are the Kshetra. All right, and the living being and the conscious particular body. All right, example, what does this mean? Of his particular, whereas the Lord conscious of all bodies. Example is, I give an example, say like for instance, I am the landlord, I got 10 houses here. First house is rented by Vaishnava Prabhu, second house by Nanda Devi Mataji, third house by Sadguna Mataji, you know, like that you all take one house, you only know your house. But I as the landlord, I know every house. So similarly, we only know our body, Kshetra, the field, Kshetra, the reason why they use the word Kshetra, right? Example, what is the reason they use Kshetra? All right, Kshetra. What does Kshetra mean? Kshetra means place. Kuru Kshetra. Kuru Kshetra. So the place of Kurukshetra, or the field, or like Padang, you know, when you play Padang. So what do we do in a Padang? We do activities. All right, the place, either the space or the place area, we do activities. What activity does we do? One will be jogging, one will be running, one will be driving, one will be like cooking. There's a lot of activities. So that's why the place of activity. So Kshetra. So that's why Krishna used the word Kshetra. The body, our body is as Kshetra. We will study that in detail in chapter 13. What is Kshetra? Because with the senses, we have all the 5 senses, working senses. Our body is made of 5 elements. We have 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 what they call knowledge acquiring, 5 senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, and the body is made of 5 elements. All right. So all these things, activities are happening in this one body. All right. Say, while I'm talking to you, my eyes are looking at you. While my eye is looking at you, my eye is blinking. You know, while I'm that means the eye is taking the vision and is processing in my retina and bringing the information to my brain. You know, and while the thing at a split second, the things go to my intelligence, and intelligence is triggering my mouth, and my mouth is then it goes to my heart especially, and from the heart I'm saying it out. And how I said it through the vibration of the tongue, and how the tongue is vibrating, you know, and while the tongue is vibrating, the air is pulling from push from my lungs and trigger my voice box, and is speaking, there's a sound is coming out. And while the vocabulary and everything that has been memorized is in my subconscious mind is keep coming out. And while I'm talking, my hand is moving here and there because I'm expressing it. The expression is expressing through the thing. So in the one activity alone, there's so many millions of activities going along with it. That's why I call Kshetra, the field of activity. So I only know my body, but Krishna is Kshetranya. Kshetranya means he is the knower of every field. All right. So like that. So the living being, but conscious of his particular body, whereas the Lord is conscious of all body. All right. So therefore, sometimes when we get frustrated with someone, you know, also you can put it in this journal, because the frustration towards someone is very common in this Kali Yuga. So when the frustration happens, when you're worried about your children, worried about whatever things, you must understand, you don't know what is happening in their mind, but the Lord knows what is happening in their mind. So they are under good care. All right. The only thing that what we can do is to pray for them. That's why I said, if you think that your family members are not becoming devotee and they are still karmi, so just pray to Krishna. Dear Krishna, dear Prabhupada, you are in their body. You know them better than me. Maybe the way I talk to them maybe might not be convincing them, but you have your ways to convince them. If at all you desire, can you just kindly make them a devotee of this thing? Because now I became a devotee and I start to realize how fortunate I am. I'm very fortunate. My Lord, So I want them to have the same fortune. I don't want to see them suffer. Because even though they are individual soul, I don't want them to see them go to hell. I don't want to see them like fall into this transmigration of all kind of living entities, abominable activities. Kindly make them a devotee. That's the only thing you can do. Even sometimes, like sometimes nowadays the children, the modern children are really giving a heartache to the parents, right? They are such a, Gen Z or something like that. Oh, such a terrible thing, right? So what can you do? From you lamenting, from you shouting, from you, just simply leave it to Krishna, right? Because this is the same thing happened to me actually. I was quite worried about my elder girl. Sometimes the way she do things, I'm getting so worried. Until one day, I was talking this to some of the senior devotees, I'm just, because it's not like, but I'm just like becoming over paranoid. Because for me, spiritual life is the main thing. Others are secondary, right? So, then one day I was lamenting. Then I just prayed to Krishna and I just opened the book. The Bhagavad Gita will speak to you. So I just hold the book and I just pray, pop, I opened the book, right? So I say, wow. And you know what, Krishna? Krishna said this. He said, I am the knower of all body. So I start to have inspiration. Yes. So since Krishna is the knower of all body, Krishna knows what to do. So I have not in the position lamenting, and the lamentation of me is just simply waste of time. All right. Because he lives in the heart of every living being. All right. He is conscious of the psychic movement of the particular jiva. So he knows. So by the psychic movement of the jiva, so he knows how to like do that, which we don't. And we should not forget this, Srila Prabhupada said. We should not forget this. It is also, say, sometimes when you see, sometimes there's some devotees will come like, they have a kind of puffed up attitude, All right, because why we are discussing this, one day, once you become a leader, one day when you go into conference, you should know that you don't do this, right? Example, sometimes they say, oh, I brought this person. Oh, that devotee was created by me. Look at him now. Oh, look at him, Like sometimes there's one, I don't quote anyone. I am the thing. So suddenly you saw that the devotee is progressing. Like for instance, a real life incident. There's one boy wanted to requested for Diksha, initiation. And he underwent the process. He was taken, he got this, what they call, he got a shelter. First step before you take initiation is by taking shelter under the Guru. Right? Right, Guru, I would like to take, okay, I'll give you shelter first. You practice, then you come back, I'll give you initiation. Like that. So I told this particular devotee, do you know that the person has taken shelter? Really? How come he didn't tell me? I say, why he should tell you? Oh, I'm a devotee. Ask me Siksha Guru. That devotee. Oh, he didn't even tell me anything. If I didn't go and see him, in the football field to call him to become a devotee, you think he can become a devotee? I am the Siksha Guru. He should ask my permission. I say, who the hell? I said, who the hell are you? You yourself is half baked, and you're telling your Siksha Guru to him. Then he said, like that. So we must remember, all right? We are making the first step. All right, we are making the first step. Example, just think about it. Say sometimes Krishna says, I am the permitter and I am the approver in chapter 13, right? In chapter 13 also they explain about this soul, all right? Krishna explained that I am the permitter and I am the approver, right? Sometimes even we have material desire. Even you feel like eating beef or you are having something, Krishna is the one who approves it, right? So suddenly, sometimes, say you are very thirsty. You are dying of thirst, all right? And you're praying, my dear Lord, I need water. And Krishna in the heart knows that you need water very badly. He saw that you are in anxiety of thirst, all right? At the same time, I am going that way, feeling like I got some extra bottle of water. Okay, I'm supposed to buy one, but end up my children bought one, so I don't need this water. And I'm just bringing the water thinking whom to give, right? So I'm just holding the thing and looking, do anyone needs water? But suddenly the Krishna inspired him from the heart. Example, Nanda Devi Mataji. Krishna inspired Nanda Devi Mataji, go to this person and he has a water to give away. And out of thousands of people that walks past Nanda Devi Mataji. Suddenly she looked at me, she get attracted to me. She looked at me and said, hey, I think I should ask this guy. I said, excuse me, sir, do you have water to spare? I said, yes, I just wanted to give to someone. Do you want me to please take it? Why? Why suddenly Devi Mataji was attracted to me? There's so many people around with walking with water bottle. But why to me? So now when we make someone a devotee, when we preach, when we cultivate, when we make someone a devotee, is it that you made them a devotee? Or there was a hunger of knowing the truth, the hunger of devotion in his heart, and he don't realize it. All right, he don't realize it. But the Lord says that you have that hunger, and I'm going to send you to someone. That someone going to, what he going to do? He's just going to be a trigger factor. It's just a trigger factor. So when the person comes, I just say, Hare Krishna. Yes, yes. Actually, I've been looking for that. I would like to introduce this book to you. It's Bhagavad Gita. Oh, you have it in English. I've been looking for this. So that means I preached to him and made him a devotee, or he came to me. Right? So we must remember this. And we should not, that's why Prabhupada says we should not forget that. You know, like the former secretary of Ipoh, you know, ASP Mohandas, right, in Ipoh. He told me, you know, many years ago, around 20 years ago, he said he bought the first Bhagavad Gita from me, and I couldn't remember that, right? So what made him to come and buy the Gita? I didn't say, oh, you became a devotee because of me. Today he's chanting 64 rounds. He's doing fantastic seva. I cannot go. So we have to always remember that. So in the future, we should understand, even this is consider a fantastic anti-depression idea. Oh, my children are not doing well. My children are doing this. My children are, why the people around? Please remember this. You are not the doer, right? Because that's what Arjuna says. I'm going to kill that person. I'm going to do this. And you are not a killer, man. That's why it's so Vishwarupa, right? We've studied that also in Bhagavad Gita, right? So always remember this. So whenever you are struggling, you are under stress, depressed, or whatever, always think about Krishna and just surrender to Krishna. My dear Krishna, you know, I are so fortunate, but my children, my offspring, sometimes they are all seems not to be interested. I am not in the capacity, right? So kindly attract them to someone. It always worked that way. You know, like this morning, I was talking to my children, talking about one tuition teacher who makes around 15,000 every month just teaching tuition at night. You know, and I have that capability. I mean, Krishna's grace, I can teach anything. In fact, I thought I did a case study with a lawyer who want to give up law. A law student, halfway want to give up. He can't take it. Then I said with him, I said, now this is how you should study. And now he's already graduating. I think he's already graduating or graduating. Yeah, should be, yeah, anytime graduate. This year graduating, finishing. And my whole family was surprised. Appa teaching law student law, you know. So it's just a method of doing. But despite all these things, my children don't study with me. I've created many A-star students, right? But my daughter only got 2 A's in SPM. Why? So this is what happened. So we think that we are the doer, actually no. Because according to the psychophysical nature, they have a person that's going to inspire them. And we should simply pray to Krishna, right? You can go around, save everybody under the world, but you turn back, your whole family will never listen to you. So that's why he says we should not forget this, all right? Why I'm telling this, talking about this now, because it's going to be the 13th chapter, but this is one of the important matters that we should start to adopt in our life. It is explained that the Paramatma, the Supreme Personal Godhead, is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, right? What does that mean? First, we understand Ishvara means controller. Yes or not? So now, Paramatma, the Supreme Living, is living in everyone's heart as Ishvara, because he's sitting in your heart and he's controlling, all right? And he's the one who giving direction. He gives direction for living entity as what he desires. Anything that he desires, he's the one guiding you. But the living entity forgets what to do. All right? First of all, he makes determination to act in certain way. First, a living entity will make a determination. Yes, this is the way that I have to follow. But then, when he start to do that, he become entangled. Entangled in what? Action, reaction of his own karma, right? Say like, for instance, uh, Krishna. Okay, say like I give a real life example. A person who was a brahmachari, then after being a brahmachari, then suddenly decided to get married when he's quite old, right? So quite old in the sense of he got married when he was around 40s, if I'm not mistaken, right? 40s. Then after that, he got married, then he started to have children. Then he's around 50s, right? And now he's in anxiety. Anxiety is the children are still young and I am already 50. Of course, he got a good job. There's no doubt about it. He got a business to handle and everything. Financially, it's not an issue. But he was worried as a 50-year-old to see a child which is only standard 1, standard 2. Right? So that's the thing. So sometimes, that's an example that suddenly I can remember that first of all, you make a determination. Yes, I think I should end my brahmacharya and I want to get married. Then after that, what happened? He get entangled in the action and reaction of his own karma. Karma means activity. So he'll be start to wonder, oh, now I got 2 children. One first is a standard 1, second is around what, 4 or 5 years old. If anything happens to me, what am I going to do? Insurance are expensive. For child, insurance are expensive because the father is very old. So like that. That's why we should always remember your marriage age supposed to be within 25 to 28. All right. That's the ideal age to get married. Or in other words, even if it's late, you have to think about getting married before 30. After that, if a person gets married, he's going to have a lifetime of anxiety. All right. You're going to have a lifetime of anxiety. As we all must understand that the lifespan is getting reduced. Nowadays to live up to 60 also is like a question mark already, right? 60 is considered is like a standard age. Insurance now says that, oh, our lifespan is for ladies is 75, for men is 73. But how many people are living up to 75, 73? As we get older, our lifespan getting shorter and shorter. That is also that we also have a big commitment to get our children married early, right? So by the time they finish a university, 25, then 1 year of getting a job, 26, 27 must get them married. Right? You may think, no, not ready yet, not the children will turn and never understand. Oh, I'm not ready. I got some of my career path and everything. They very age of 30, and after get married, 1, 2 years honeymoon year, don't feel like having a child. Age of 33, have a child. And that time both husband and wife will be like the bodily will start to the body, all kind of things will start to happen with them. Rheumatism, body ache, this and that. Then by the age of 40, 45, they're going to get frustrated, but the child is only Form 1, 13-year-old, but they're already 45, 40. It's headache. All right. So people get entangled. So all these things that's why I say Bhagavad Gita is a book of science. And through the book of science, we can just simply expand it. Right. So after giving one, then after that, what happened? After giving up one type of body, right? Already he had one type of body. He has went through so much of experience. Then he goes into another body. Then after that, he goes into another body. But once he goes to the another body, what happened? Can he forget what happened? Oh, I had a trauma in my previous birth. All right. But come to this birth, I didn't know. It doesn't work that way. It is just like we take off and put on clothes. All right. We just use one particular type of shirt and we take up, and now it's rotten. We throw away, put another type of cloth. So like that, the soul migrates, right? And in that migration, what happens? He suffers the action and reaction of the past activity. All right. Just imagine after this one birth of trauma, we take a new birth, we totally forget. Okay, give you one crude example. All right. Say like, for instance, after the mother goes through a very painful labor. For her, labor is painful. Labor is like a rebirth. They say, because the pelvis bone open, the child comes out and the pelvis bone goes stuck back. Cool. Thinking about it, very scary. Right? Very scary. And nowadays, they also encourage the father also to go in and see the labor. That's when you start to appreciate your wife. But after seeing that trauma, after 1, 2 years, they forget about it. And they proceed to have another child. Despite going through a kind of near-death experience, delivering a child. So even in this birth itself, we forget. Right? And what we talk about a previous birth, what happened? So therefore, you just go on. right? Suffer and enjoy all the new activities. These activities can be changed when the living being is in the mode of goodness or insanity, right? This thing all can change when the person goes into the mood of goodness. That means he's sane. That means he's sane. That means insanity means mad. This is non-madness, sanity, sane, right? And in that situation, that's when he can understand what sort of activity he should adopt. Right? Now I'm sane, I'm clear of mind. So now what are the activity I should adopt? That's why Prabhupada says in so many times in you can see his lecture, just give this one life of Krishna. Right? And it's so convincing. That means we have so many lives we have passed through. And there's so many lives are there in front of us. Right? So at least it's just give one lifetime. Example, if you're earning, okay, like the day I was met a person who earns 10,000, 12,000 a day. Right? He has multiple business. He earns 12,000 a day. Okay. He earns how much? 12,000. Of course, some legal and illegal business. Every day he makes 12,000. All right. Then I just came back. I didn't say anything, but I came back. Then I was just meditating in my heart. I was telling, why not? You just give 1 day your salary for Krishna. Just 1 day salary. Can you see that? Because he's going on earning that every day. So I was just thinking, okay, when the time needs, when I need to have some project or what, I might go and meet this person. So while you're earning 12,000 every day, why not just give 1 day income for Krishna? Just 1 day. I'm not asking you to give your 1 month salary. Just 1 day income, give it to Krishna. Because you're still having it. There's so many, every day you're going to make that money. So similarly, just use 1 day as, use 1 day of your life for the service of Krishna. And if he does so, then all the actions and reaction of his past activity can be changed. Prarabdha, aprarabdha, kutta and sanchati, all these kind of karmas, everything can be changed. So consequently, all right, consequently, we should understand karma is not eternal. Karma is not forever. Okay, karma, it is that can be changed. Therefore, we stated that of the 5 items, Ishvara, Prakriti, time, and karma, the 4 are eternal. That means the Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, and Kala. These 4 are eternal. You cannot change it. But karma is not eternal. All right. In Tamil, what we say? Vidhi Madhyala Valla. Vidhi na enna? Karma. Vidhi na karma. Talayeluthu. Vidhi. Your action, your activity, your reaction. Vidhi. All right. Vidhi. Eda vichi vanala? Madhyala. Madhi na enna artham? Can anyone tell me? Any Tamil scholars here? Or anybody just knows Tamil? Madhi. What is Madhi? Are you all there? Am I audible?
Talaganam, bro.
Huh?
Talaganam.
Madhi na enna? Madhi. அது மதம் புடிச்சு அலையிறது அது தலகணம்.
Mati is knowledge, is it?
Okay, what knowledge is that? ஏன் அவங்க சொல்லலாம்ல விதி வந்து விதியை வந்து அறிவால வெல்லலாம்னு சொல்லலாம்ல. விதி அறிவால வெல்லலாம், விதி ஞானத்தால வெல்லலாம், விதி மதி means what?
Then I'm not sure, bro.
All right, there's a few terms for madi. Madi is also called as the moon. Madi, right? And secondly, madi means what? Madi means, say, when you look at the moon, moon is so nice that you see. Madi is another term, spiritual knowledge, spiritual awakening. Madi. All right? Like for instance, Nimmadi. Right? Nimmadi. What is Nimmadi? Right? So how to achieve Nimmadi? Or enge Nimmadi, எனக்கு அந்த இடத்துல ஒரு இடம் வேணும் அப்படிலாம் பாருங்க. Nimmadi. What Nimmadi means? Nim enna Madina. So ni also spiritual, Madi endra knowledge. Right? Knowledge. And that Madi is usually will be linked with spiritual knowledge. So karma is not. So vidhi madhyala valraduna. So you can get rid of your vidhi, all your karma through the knowledge of the Supreme Personality. All right? Because I see that, and I think it's one of that இதுல கூட இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். யாரு in what is the thing? That's Tamil poet. What is his name? Thiruvallavara. Sathi Thiruvallavara, yes. Because I remember listening to one of that this thing, Once I get the reference, I'll definitely share with everyone here. All right. So karma can be get rid through the spiritual knowledge. And Nimmadiyandam also there. So the supreme conscious Ishvara. So Ishvara is fully conscious, supreme conscious, and we are semi-conscious. Is similar to the living entity in the way. Both the consciousness of the Lord and the living entities are transcendental. So what does that mean? So the consciousness of the Lord and the living entity both are same. Just like the fire and the spark of the fire. Both are fire. So it is conscious, all right? It is not that consciousness is generated by association matter. We should remember the consciousness is not generated, that means not created through the association with the matter. But this that is a mistaken idea. The theory that consciousness develops after certain circumstances in material combination, it is not accepted. All right. Sometimes they say, the conscious develops after certain circumstances. That means the thing, okay, when the child goes in, all right, it is still in the embryo. Then after that, sometimes the consciousness will come in. So they feel like the consciousness is just another kind of chemical changes in the body and develop under certain circumstances through the material combination of this kind of what they call acid and all these kind of things. But it's not true. So consciousness may be pervertedly reflected by covering. So perverted, sometimes the consciousness also can be seen like pervertedly covering of the material circumstances, all right? Of material circumstances, all right? Now say like, I'm in Malaysia, now I'm Malaysian. So now I go to America and I get an American citizenship. And now I start to say, I am the most powerful person because I live in the most powerful country. And America is the best country in the world. Why? Because I went there, I got assimilated into the system. And I start to see that American dream, all right? Then after that, I start to realize, no, then after that, what I do? I give up everything, But outside, I see India as such a dirty, filthy area. The land of beggars, right? I just think in India. But out of some circumstances, I just go back to India. Then I start to go to India and I start to see the development of India, the progress of India. And the thing is changing, the conscious changing according to the circumstances. Everybody think that. They say it's a perverted reflection, right? Of the covering of material circumstances, right? But it's not that. Just sometimes they say, it's just like a light reflected through a colored glass may appear in certain color. Right? Say like I'm taking a bright light and I got a red color glass. All right. Say like I got this bottle which is blue color, and what I do, I put the light through it. The light is pure, it is white, but it goes through it, and the reflection out there it shows blue. So everybody thinks, oh, blue, that is the consciousness. So it's the but they forgot that light that goes through is pure. All right. So, but the consciousness of the Lord is not materially affected, right? The man can have a consciousness change according to the circumstances and everything because he's under illusion. Okay, he's under illusion. Like sometimes you see that Indian guys who suddenly convert to other religion, like say they convert to Islam, and they start to praise that thing, and after that they start to talk about the Malay culture and the supremacy of Malay culture. Right? They say, oh, because in Malaysia, if you convert to Islam, means you become Malay also. A lot of Indians who convert, they become Malay. Naturally, they become Malay. Right? So like that. So that means they don't have a stand because they have a perverted and this thing. That means they don't have a steady mind, steady consciousness. Right? But the Lord's consciousness is not materially affected. Lord Krishna says, Madhyakshena prakriti. Maya Dyakshena prakriti. So when he descends into the material universe, his consciousness is not materially affected. So we can get affected. When I go to the prison, I act differently. When I come out, I act differently. When I go to America, I act differently. When I go to an island, I act differently. There's according to the time, place, circumstances, we adapt to their culture. But Krishna is not materially affected. Okay. Say like sometimes, what does that mean by he descends to material universe? He's conscious. Okay. That means when he comes to material universe, he is not materially affected. Just like the king suddenly wants to go to the Sungai Buloh prison. All right. He wants to go to the Sungai Buloh prison and to see how the prison look like. All right. It's an official visit. So when he enters the prison, he doesn't become a prisoner. Even as the king enters into the prison, he is still the king. So the supreme personality of Lord, when he comes to the material world, he is still the supreme personality. He doesn't come here and become a materially affected. But the question is, if he is affected, he would be unfit to speak on transcendental matter, as what he have done in Bhagavad Gita. One cannot say anything. We cannot say anything about the transcendental world without being freed from material contaminated consciousness. Isn't that fantastic statement Prabhupada is making? That he says that one cannot say anything about transcendental world. You cannot say anything about transcendental without being free from this material consciousness. It is material contaminated, right? You cannot say, no, you cannot speak about the spiritual world when you're still under the contamination, right, of this material consciousness. So the Lord is not materially contaminated. Our consciousness at the present moment, however, is materially contaminated. Our consciousness. The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have to purify the material contamination consciousness. We have to purify it. So we have to purify it means what? Does it happen by itself? No, it takes action. Right? Like for instance, I've been having a body ache all this while. No, I don't know. I've been having a leg pain, back pain, and all these things. I was wondering what happened to me. Maybe it's aging or what. But yesterday, since it was off day, so I went for a walk, I went for exercise. And today I don't feel the pain at all. So now I start to understand that actually I'm being passive and my body is getting frozen. So when I start to go and exercise, went for a walk, a little jog and all these things, and today I feel my body is so good. I don't have a back pain. I'm not putting a knee glove and knee socks. That is that. So that means I have to work on my health. I have to be actively involved in working on my health. So similarly, you have to work on the way to purify your consciousness. Contamination. It doesn't happen by default. So in pure consciousness, what is the example? What is the advantage? Once you become that. So in pure consciousness, what will happen? Our action will be dovetailed to the will of Ishvara. So once we work on it and we come to the level of pure consciousness. That means we start to purify. So how the purify? When the purification happens, the first thing we start to realize is what? Realize that everything belongs to God. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Ishopanishad. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Everything that actually belongs to Krishna. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Right? So what is the next line? Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. Oh, Krishna. Any one of you got Ishopanishad with you?
Tena taktena bunjita.
Tyaktena bunjita. Then?
Mad griha swadanam.
Sorry?
Mad griha swadanam. Don't envy others' property.
Yes. So, Isha Vashedam Sarvam, Tena Tyaktena Bunjita. So, what does that mean? Everything, animate and inanimate, everything belongs to Krishna. Isha Vasya. Everything belongs to Krishna. All right? And we should only accept things that according to that allocated through our quota. What is my quota? What is my allocation? I should only accept that. And at the same time, you should understand to whom the balance belongs to. The rest of it, who belongs to. All right? Isha Vashamidam Sarva Bunjita. Tena Tyaktena Bunjita. Mad Grida. Okay, anyway. For me, very hard to remember the Sanskrit verse. All right, but the English translation, everything that animate, everything belongs to Krishna. And you should only accept things which is according to your quota. At the same time, you should remember the balance to whom it belongs to. So like that. So that means when we start to understand that everything that I have with me, the house, the property, the money, the whatever things that I have with me, everything is according to my quota and everything belongs to Krishna. So we dovetail everything, like the computer and the things that I'm using, my internet, my home Wi-Fi, everything. I'm using it, but I'm using it for the sake of Krishna. Right? All right. So the things happening, everything, that means everything that you have, even your job, your income, everything, you just dovetail everything to Krishna. That's the time when you achieve the pure consciousness. Right? So the pure consciousness. And what is a pure consciousness? Can anyone tell me? We discussed that in Nectar of Devotion. Anyone? Pure consciousness is what?
Uncontaminated desire, without desire. Prabhu.
That's a term. Yeah, of course, that's a term. What is that? Pure consciousness means?
Uncontaminated
No.
with material desire.
So that is the definition. That's the meaning.
Okay.
But pure consciousness means what?
Krishna consciousness.
Exactly. Krishna consciousness. Pure consciousness means it's Krishna consciousness. So in Krishna consciousness, our action will be dovetailed. All right? Dovetailed to what? To the wheel of Ishvara, because it's the controller. And that will make us happy. So we are no longer a miser. We are no longer want to over endeavor. Prayasas. Prayasas, it's mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, prayasa. So we don't over endeavor. We always try to keep within our quota. That's how we are saying. You have a job, 8 to 5 job, keep your job in that. Within that 8 to 5, how much money you can earn, keep your lifestyle within that. Don't over endeavor. Buying more than one property, buying so many properties, buying so many cars and all these kind of things, you have to end up working harder. Unless if you are inherited, or unless before you become a devotee you have accumulated, that's different. But now, don't work hard for it. All right? Say if you have 2 houses, okay, fair enough. So what you can do, you can take one house and rent it out or change to homestay and let other people to manage it. There's a lot of companies managing it. And whatever income that you get, you just say, okay, this is what Krishna is allocating me. This is my quota. Even end up, you're going to make 1 million a month, you should still understand that is your quota, because nothing happen by itself. So Krishna gave you that quota, 1 million. So what are you going to do with that 1 million? You have to live within that 1 million. So you're not going to buy a palace and all this. So keep your money, how much money you need. Like what the example, like we studied in Nectar of Devotion. What they call what is his name? Rupa Goswami. What he did? 50% he gave to charity. 50% he gave to the propagation of Krishna consciousness, to the devotee who dedicate their life for the service of Krishna, give away 50%. 25% give to your relative, your children, your whatever wife, whatever you want to inherit them, give it to them. And another 25% keep it for your own emergency. If anything happens, emergency, you need money, you use that money. All right? So like that. Okay? So when we dovetail everything, that will make us happy. If not, we have to cease. Okay, now Prabhupada says, so if we make it, so it is not that we want to cease all our activity. It's not that we give up everything, throw everything, just wear one chadar like this, one dhoti, and just walk out and go into the forest. No. If it is not that we have to cease all activities, it's not that we're going to stop all activities. Rather, our activities are to be purified. And purified activities are called bhakti. Right? Purified activities are called bhakti. So that means we are purifying our activities. Even say like income that you eat. Okay, like for instance, the food that we offer to Krishna. Why we eat? Because the food is purified. The food is free of karma. Right? Karmic free diet. Then the income that you earn, that you should have done a lot of karma in that process of earning income. You might have tell a lie. You might backstab someone. You might have said something. You might have made an accusation. You might have do some dosa kirtan. Right? In the company, if you're so good, means you can never progress. Right or not? Oh, I'm working in this company, so I'm a good Samaritan. I only speak the truth. You will never survive. You can't even go up the rank unless you become a specialist in one subject, in one matter. If you're not a specialist, if you're just another random worker, right, you can never progress if you don't have this kind of backbiting attitude. Can anyone agree with me or disagree with me? Anyone in corporate world before? Vaishnav Kripa Prabhu, what do you think? You're a very senior person and you have run a hospital, clinic and all these kind of things.
I didn't catch the question, Prabhu.
Say like for instance, by not backbiting, by not
that's
betraying,
the greatest crime
sorry?
In whatever life, business life, that's one of the big problem, Prabhu.
Is a big problem or it's a must-do activity?
We have to do it if you want to survive in business life.
Exactly. In corporate world, huh?
Yeah. Whatever business, Prabhu.
Correct. Correct. And also you must, in order to maintain your status there, you have to make sure that those coming to you as a threat, you have to eliminate him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Because I also formerly with the corporate world, I had a business, I had so many workers. Sometimes the workers will come and say bad things about another worker, and I'll be just thinking in my heart, as an employer, what I usually think, the more the person criticizes that person, someone, I should understand that person is very good. So I think differently. They say, oh, this worker is not good, sir. Really? Oh, really? Oh, he's doing that, doing that. Then I know already. When he criticizes him, that means I understand that person is actually very good. So I pay attention to him. I promote him further. And this guy gets so annoyed. I increase the salary. Anyway, it's once upon a time. So anyway, so it's like that. All right? So that means we have done so much of dosa kirtan. We have done so much of karma. You'll be driving, bang a dog, and curse the floor. Hey, 20, your grandfather's road, shouting and screaming. Right? So much of things. But you take a little bit of your money that you earn and offer it to Krishna. All your income become pure. Your activity becomes pure, and everything becomes lofted. That means, in other words, we are purifying it. All right? Purifying it. And eventually, your mind, everything will be purified. So activities in bhakti appear to be like an ordinary activity sometimes. Sometimes it just looks like ordinary thing. What's so big deal about? What's so big deal about people? But they are actually, it's ordinary, but the difference is they are not contaminated. There's no contamination in that. An ignorant person may see that devotee is acting and working like an ordinary man. But such a person with poor fund of knowledge does not know the activity that devotee does. Right? He doesn't, knowledge does not know the activities of the devotee, or the Lord are not contaminated by impure consciousness of matter. Sometimes when you see that a lotus leaf looks like just like another leaf, okay, and it's growing in a very dirty pond, polluted pond. But even how polluted the pond is, there's no polluted water can stay on the leaf. But the leaf is resting on that water, but it is aloof. And make sure that no water can stand on it. It just remove it. It's resting on it, and it never adopt to that environment. It still remain as the lotus leaf. And it still produces lotus flower with so much of fragrance. Even it is growing in a contaminated pond. It's aloof. So similarly, when we see such a devotee, even though he just seems to be like doing like any other normal job, going and doing 8 to 5, punch card, this and that, but we should understand, but his consciousness is very pure. Compare with his karmis. All right? So they are transcendental to the three modes of material nature, and we should know, however, that this point, our conscious, okay, we should know, however, at this point, our consciousness is contaminated. So now we should understand. Now, we should at least come to the point, now I have a contaminated consciousness. That's why we are reading Bhagavad Gita, to remove that contamination. Okay? All right, now it's 10:05. Shall we just take a short break? Then we discuss this. All right, just take a short break. Hare Krishna, let's continue. So now, we see here, now what happened? When we are materially contaminated, that's when we are called conditioned. That means we are conditioned in that contamination. So false consciousness is exhibited. The false consciousness, the consciousness which is not right, that means the falsified. That means your real consciousness is spiritual. Your false consciousness means contaminated. Exhibited under the impression. Okay, the false consciousness is exhibited under the impression of what? That I am the product of this material nature. Okay, the false consciousness, I am the product of this material nature. I've been produced by my father and mother. I carry their DNA, I carry their character, or some or other carry their belief system. So this is the nature of molded me. Then after that, my school environment. Then after that, my working environment. So we are keep getting molded. We keep changing our consciousness, because our consciousness is not steady at all, right? So maybe as a young man, you might have lived a life full of different way of life, belief system and everything. But after you get married, your wife or your husband will come in with his own belief system. So now you start to what they call merge into that belief system. So now you have a different personality. Sometimes we say, before marriage he was like this. Now after marriage he's like that. Somehow or other is molded into that character. All right. So that changes, and believing in that changes, and believing that I am that changes. I am that. This is what they call as false ego. Ego means belief system, the false identification. One who is absorbed in the thought of bodily conception. This is my body. Oh, see how good I look. Oh, I am this, I am that. Cannot understand his situation. As long as we start to believe in this body, we start to have the conception about this body. I'm so lucky I born into this kind of family. My father is so-and-so. My grandfather was a jamindar. Oh, I am this, I am that. Seems as long as I'm there, I will never come to the understanding. So he cannot understand his situation. Right? He cannot understand his situation. So Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from bodily conception of life. Please underline this word. So the Bhagavad Gita was spoken to liberate one from this bodily conception of life. Okay. That's my pencil. I couldn't find it. I hope you have all underlined this statement, right? And Arjuna put himself in this position in order to receive this information from the Lord. All right? Put himself in this position so that he can get that first-hand information. One must become free from bodily conception of life. One have to be free from bodily conception of life. If we are not free from the bodily concept, we cannot see further. Or now we call it as think out of the box. There's a term, think out of the box. If you want to be successful in life, you have to think out of the box. So what is inside the box? The way that you grew up, your value, your culture, your belief system, your identification, all these kind of things is within the box. So now you have to come out of that box and think differently. So if you think out of the box, means you are going to think something which is not going to influence you, your tradition, your birth, your culture, your belief system, your upbringing is totally out. So I come out from that and I think differently. Now in Malay, we call kibat or something like kebat. Nowadays in the school, the children all, when they do the studies, when they do the exam, there's a called kebat question. Kebat question means they give you a question, you have to think out of the box. All right? So like that. So if you cannot do that, we cannot free from ourselves from bodily conception of life. And that is the preliminary activity. That's a basic activity for the transcendentalists. That's a preliminary activities. One who wants to become free, and who wants to become liberated, please underline all this statement. This is a very important statement. One who wants to become free, one who wants to be liberated, then must first of all learn that is not this material body. Okay? Who wants to become liberated, wants to become free, that's the first thing he must understand, that is not this material body. Okay? Mukti or liberation means freedom. Mukti, or in other words, liberation means freedom from material consciousness. You have to come out from this material consciousness. In Srimad Bhagavatam also, the definition of liberation is given. Srimad Bhagavatam also give a definition to the liberation. That is called Muktir Hitya Muktir Hit. Muktir Hityavanta Rupam Sarupena. Oh, yeah. Okay, maybe. Go to my mouse. All right. So it says Muktir Hityan Hitvan Yata Rupam Swarupena Vyavastiti. Mukti means liberation from the contaminated consciousness of this material world. In other words, right? So Mukti means liberation from this contaminated consciousness of this material. Please underline. and situation in pure consciousness and situated in pure consciousness. All the instruction of Bhagavad Gita are intended. I think better get this one. Just give me a second. Huh? Just get all right. Okay. Now, where is it? All the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, all the instruction, the word is all the instruction, or the Bhagavad Gita is what? Intended to awaken. The idea is to awaken this pure consciousness. Please underline all the instruction. Okay, now we understand. So what is the reason that I'm studying Bhagavad Gita? There's an intention behind it. When I want to give you instruction, that means I have an intention. All right. Say like I'm the army commander and I give instruction to my captain. And the captain gives instruction to his sergeant and that, and there's all the battalion, all the soldiers will take the instruction. And what is that instruction? Now you take this route, and if one go to that route, one go to this route. Okay, so you go this way, this way, this way, so we can ambush the enemy. All right, ambush the enemy. Then after that, as a commander, I gave another instruction to my captain. If you catch them alive, just simply neutralize them. Neutralize means what? Kill them. No point taking them and bring them to the court. No point taking them and bring them to this thing and get some this thing. No, all these are really, because we got enough information. These are the terrorists. We don't need them. Kill them, neutralize them. So what is that intention? My intention as a commander, it is, I want to get rid of all this thing, and I don't want to waste my time taking them, feeding them, putting them in jail and all this kind of. I have no time. So I have an intention. Similarly, all the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, what is the Krishna's intention? To awaken this pure consciousness, and that is Krishna consciousness. And therefore, we find that the last stage, at the last stage of the Gita, instruction that Krishna is asking Arjuna whether he has now, okay? All right, so we find the last stage of the Gita's instruction that Krishna asking Arjuna, he said, whether he is now is purified consciousness. Is all your mind is clear? Are you awake? Are you is all your what they call confusion is clarified? Your confusion, is it clarified? Right? So then after that, Krishna says, do what you'd like to do. I've already spoken whatever I need to talk. What verse is that? Can anyone tell me? It's a very interesting verse, and that's when Bhagavad Gita stays out. Chapter 18 is in chapter 18. Okay. Like for instance, all right, 18.63. Itite jnanam akyatang guhyat tarang maya vimirshaitat asheshena yattechasi tata kuru. Okay. Guhyat taram. I have already given you guhya means confidential. So Krishna says, this I have explained to you, I have explained to you knowledge which is more confidential. Right? Then after that, Krishna says this very nice word. Deliberate on this fully. He said, deliberate on this fully. Deliberate. Think about it fully. Then do what you wish to do. Just do what you like to do. Right? Because you are my dear friend, I'm speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. All right? Hear this for your this thing. Okay? That's when he start to sing. All right? So like that. So yes, so I've already told you all the secrets. I believe that your mind is purified. Now you make the decision. Do what you like to do. He didn't say follow it. Just say do what you like to do. Right? So purified consciousness means what? Acting in accordance with the instruction of the Lord. So purified consciousness means what? Acting in accordance with the instruction of the Lord. This is the whole sum and substance of purified consciousness. Consciousness is already there because we are part and parcel of the Lord. But for us, there is affinity of being affected by the inferior modes. All right? So that means, in other words, what he says, consciousness is already there. All right? Because we are part and parcel of Krishna, because we are the drift. But for us, there is affinity because we've been affected by inferior modes. What is inferior mode? What is inferior mode? Anyone?
Material.
Yes, material nature, prakriti, all right? Or the external energy of Krishna, all right? It is just like this. I was listening to Prabhupada's lecture these past few days, and yesterday night, something that I was fascinated with his term. He said, we are the spark of the fire. As long we are with the fire, we will be illuminating. But once sometimes the spark fly away, it fall down, what will happen to the spark? Can anyone tell me, Prabhu? Anybody? Vaishnava, Prabhu, what do you think? What happened to the spark?
It will be vanquished.
Sorry?
It will be vanquished.
Vanquished. Then what will happen to the spark? The spark will turn into what?
Ash.
Carbon.
Yeah.
The spark will turn into carbon. Yes or not? See how
Yeah.
proper. The thing, you see all the carbons around. Actually, all the spark that been extinguished, it turned into carbon. So we are the spark that has been extinguished. We've forgotten our real nature of being a spark of fire. Why? Because we are affected by the inferior mode. But the Lord, being the supreme, is never affected. This is the difference between the Supreme Lord and the small individual souls. So now the question is, what is the consciousness means? This consciousness is I am, then what I am. This consciousness is I am, then what I am. So now the consciousness is I am. So what am I? Right? You are a man. Okay. So what am I? Oh, you are a doctor. Right? So something. So I am, then what I am. The in contamination consciousness. In contamination, I said I am means I am the Lord, all I survey. So in that contaminated consciousness, what we say, I am the Lord of all I survey. I am the enjoyer. What does that mean? Nice English. I am the Lord of all I survey. Everything that within my survey means the one that you have surveyed. That means the one that you have encountered, that you have ventured. Right? I have ventured into family life. I got my family, and this is my family. And I am the eldest among all my cousins. Therefore, I am the big uncle. So I am this. Then I got a business. I am the enjoyer. So I am the Lord. I am the controller, everything that I survey. I am the controller. And after that, I am the enjoyer. I'm a Purusha. All right? The world resolved because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and creator of material world. This world revolves. They say because every living being thinks that he is the Lord and the creator of the material world. So material consciousness has two psychic division. We must remember that. Please underline. The material consciousness has two psychic division. Psychic or psychiatric kind of, okay, is within. So there's two material consciousness. In material consciousness has two psychic division. One is what? Is that I am the creator. I am the creator of the family. I am the this, I am that. I created this family. I created the income. I created this property. I am the creator. And the second is, the other is what? I am the enjoyer. Not only I created, but I am also the enjoyer. All right? But actually, when you see, the Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. Why this is not okay? The Lord is both the creator and the enjoyer. And the living entities being the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, being the what? The part and the parcel of the Supreme Lord. He is neither creator nor enjoyer. But he's a what? He's a cooperator. Right? Say like for instance, Prabhupada gave an example. All right, 1967, he was giving a class on 9th February. I was listening to the lecture this morning. He was saying, what can you create? The only thing that, because that time was a Goodyear tire was a big sensation in US. Right? Are you the creator of the Goodyear tire? You have such a great tire company, Goodyear. But are you the creator? How can you create? The material of rubber supplied by who? Can you create rubber from a factory? Then after the tire is produced, you infuse it with air. Can you produce air in your factory? No. It comes from the nature. And the Prakriti is, Krishna is the one who provides everything. Krishna provides the nature, provides the rubber tree, and the rubber tree produces latex. And that latex is been converted using some other chemical also that come from the nature. Then after that, you wash it and purify it through the water and dry it under the sun also from the nature, from Krishna. Then after that, you suppress it, you press it, you make it thin. Then you put it layer after layer, you combine it. And that machine is made of iron also from nature. And the electricity is triggered maybe by what they call by hydroelectricity or nuclear. That also from the nature, water base. Then it compressed and everything. Then I've all done. Then you have to take it out. Then before you fix into this thing, you also have to put an air inside it. And the air is also from the nature. What actually have you created? You have only manipulated. It's a kind of manipulation. You know, you just take this, take that, goreng, some like you just create something. All right. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that you're neither the creator nor the enjoyer. You're only a cooperator. You're taking this. And he is created and enjoyed. He is the created and the enjoyed. For instance, the part of the machine cooperates with the whole machine. A part of the body cooperates with the whole body. Yes or not? A part of the body that cooperates with the whole body. No, part of your body, say like this finger, pinky finger, is cooperating with this body. The hands, legs, eyes, and so on are part of the body. But they are not actually the enjoyer. You got it? You're not the enjoyer. Say like now I'm feeling it's so hot season, I cannot tahan. So I go and make gulfi, ice cream. Right? So first the eyes see it. Wow. Do the eye enjoy? No. Then I smell. Wow. Do my nose enjoying? No. Then I take hold that ice cream, the cone. I can feel the chillness. Is my hand is enjoying? No. Then I bring it to my mouth and I start to lick it. I start to have the taste. Do my tongue enjoying it? No. All these things are cooperating. And the enjoyer, I am enjoying. My body doesn't enjoy separately. My eyes don't enjoy separately seeing the ice cream. My hand don't. Everything works corporately. So the actual is. So who is the real enjoyer? The one distinct. The stomach is the enjoyer. The legs move, the hands supply food, the teeth chew, and all body parts are engaged in satisfying the stomach. Because the stomach is the principal factor that nourishes the body's organization. Therefore, everything is given to the stomach. One nourishes the tree by watering the root, and one nourishes the body by feeding the stomach. For these is the body that kept healthy state. All right. So when the parts of the body must cooperate to feed the stomach. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the enjoyer and the creator. And we are subordinate living beings, which are meant to cooperate to satisfy him. So we are part of the limb of the nature that we work together to satisfy the Lord. When you see a big tree, it has so much of leaves, branches, lot of leaf, and that leaf, there's a tiny leaf, right? There's thousands of leaves are there. And all the thousands of leaves, what is their duty? to absorb the sun, to hold the moisture, to absorb the thing from the sky, the sun. It turn into this, what is this thing, chlorophyll, and turn into there's a what is the one terms, right? Whatever, it turns into energy. And everything, they are working all independently just to satisfy the root. Because if they don't satisfy the root, they cannot hang in there. They will die. So they all work hard to satisfy. They're all working as an organization. As an organization. Right? But what happened? Suddenly one particular leaf tried to be independent. It is madness. The entire factory runs in an organization, from the janitor who washes the bathroom until the CEO who manages the company. Everyone work independent, all work different way. Their ultimate goal is to profit. Capitalists, they want to make profit, they want to increase, they want profitability, right? While they're thinking of going to profit, they go to the washroom, they simply pee and just come out. And the janitor must make sure the toilet is clean, because they know the guy who pee, they have no time to wash the toilet. So they create a janitor, now you wash the toilet, so these guys can go back and work. And to maintain them, manage them, they all of them are working as a organization, all working in their particular job, but in one organization, right? So that they can achieve the ultimate goal of that organization. But what happens? Suddenly the janitor feels like, I want to be independent, right? Or what happened to the guy who produced the product? He wants to be independent. Or what happened if you're a bank clerk, bank teller? Nowadays, of course, I don't see it anymore, all put in machine. But those days, when you go and give the money, you want to bank in the money, you go to the teller. You give 100,000 to that person. He calculate and debit into your account. But what happens? Suddenly the teller says, well, I am receiving 100,000. End of the day, the silly bank is only giving me 2,000 ringgit salary. It doesn't make sense. So the teller, what it says, I take the money, I enjoy, because I am the guy, I'm the one who handles this money. What happened? Everything will go haywire. And the person who takes the money can be severely punished. That is why, in forgetfulness of Krishna, who is supposed to be the main factor in this organization, a person is severely punished. And how severely is punished? Say, like a person who takes the bank, the teller who use the money from the bank, he can have maybe some imprisonment, lose the job, imprisonment, that's it. But the law of nature is not like that. The law of nature punishes you so severely. First, it throws you into the hell and burn you alive. Boiling, burning, soaking in all abominable kind of thing. Viraja river, abominable. You can't even, if I speak about it, I don't think so you can take lunch today. It's that crazy, terrible. 64,000 varieties of hell. Then after you go through that hell, torture, get whacked, nicely cut body, everything done, then throw into abominable species. A person born in the worm in the stool. The person who born as a pig and get slaughtered. You know the way the Chinese slaughter the pig, they cut the pig into half. I mean, now I don't think, now they call humane way, but I remember seeing when I was small. You know, in Sungai Prani, in my auntie's place, you know, we used to go early in the morning, we sneak out from the house just to go to the pig slaughterhouse, the traditional. They tie all the legs, the pig will be all in a small chamber, both four legs are tight, and the conveyor will just push them like that. They'll be just like that. And in the middle, there's a big razor. The pig cannot do anything. The thing cut into a boom, fall into. Right? Then after that, the pig go further into, and then from there, the soul goes, just imagine, into the darkest region of this material universe. Punished so severely because you want to act independently against the Supreme Person. Right? But that Supreme Person is very merciful. Krishna is very merciful. He's extremely merciful. When you read the story of Ekadasi, right? Lord Vishnu, Narayana will be visiting this, what they call, visiting Yamaraj. When he goes to Yamaloka to see Yamaraj, Lord Narayana, Vishnu, can hear the pain and crying of all the sinful people. All were crying in anguish. All were crying and suffering. Please, someone help me. They burn them. They just can go on like this body. One blow, people can die. Forget about it. But there is not like that. Even they cut the body into pieces, still the person is alive. You know, it reminds me about one, a terrible incident. Of course, I'm just, it's very gory. Anyway, there's one terrible accident happened, and one of my friend were like, he saw the accident. He wanted to go and save the people. The bus was hit by a lorry or something like that. He saw one Malay boy, severe hit. Right? Even the head is severe. The boy, it's just a few second life. You know, the body is one part, the head is one part, but the head was like, he's still alive. He says, "Bang, tolong," pop, he died. "Tolong saya," and he died. Even at that stage, even the body got severed. Right? But still, say, please help. He still believe that he can live. So like that example. So his body cut into pieces, but the person don't die. And they suffer. Then that's when he became so disheartened. Then he says, well, that's when the story of Ekadasi starts. So they say those who fast on Ekadasi, they will never meet Yamaraj. And that is for karma kandis. But we as a devotee, we have no worries about going to hell. Because somehow or other, we are on the boat. We are on the boat of going back home, back to Godhead. So sometimes we are hanging on the boat. We are something struggling and everything, but still we are, somehow or other, we are clinging on the boat. We are not into the boat yet, but we are clinging on the boat. Even though we suffer, we still feel the suffering, getting hit by the wave, but still we are holding on it. We still will go back. No worries. Right? So that's it. So the Lord Krishna was so merciful. He said, oh my God, why these people are like that? Because the nature, you see, somebody asked why you need a Bhatrakali which is so furious, so distinct. That is the real nature of material world. The material world is very ugly and very ferocious, very notorious, extremely notorious, extremely ugly, extremely fierce, and extremely merciless. You cannot see any mercy from them. All right? If you become a non-living, if you go into karmi life, they provide you everything. Right? They provide you everything that behind it, torture you nicely, whack you nicely. So we have to all cooperate. So that means when we start to become Ishvara, the material nature will punish that person extremely gory. At least you steal some money in the bank, you go to prison, maybe 5-10 years, you still can come out. But this material world is not like that. So that means we should understand that all subordinate living beings, we are actually meant to cooperate to satisfy him, not to act independently. These cooperation will actually help us, just like the food taken in the stomach will help other parts of the body. If the fingers of the hand thinks that he should take the food and themselves instead of giving to the stomach, then he'll be frustrated. They will be frustrated, just like the example I gave. The central figure of creation, the central figure of enjoyment, creation and enjoyment is the Supreme Lord. And the living entities are the cooperators. By cooperation, they enjoy. That means by doing that cooperation, what they'll do, they will enjoy. Just imagine if you're a butler in the palace. In the palace. All right. What is the butler means? A servant, a maid servant who are feeding, who are taking care of the king, by giving them food, like a high class waiter. Right? Or if you are a cook in that kingdom. Example, you are a cook or you are just a kitchen helper. What happened? The food that king eats, it's also you can have it. The king eats the most finest mango, example. The finest mango. You take the mango and cut very nicely and offer to the king. But while you're cutting, you also can still put it into your mouth. That means while by cooperation, they also enjoy, the soul enjoy. The relation is that like the master and the servant. Example, Prabhupada is mentioning here. If the master is fully satisfied, then the servant is satisfied. Similarly, the Supreme Lord should be satisfied. Although the tendency to become the creator and the tendency to enjoy the material are there, still we have that. Also in the living entities, because these tendencies are also in the Supreme Lord, who has created and manifest cosmic world. So when we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, The tendency to control, to enjoy is in the Supreme Lord. And we also have it because we are also part and parcel of it. But we have to be careful. We shall find, therefore, all right? We shall find, therefore, in Bhagavad Gita, the complete whole is comprised of the supreme control. Also, we find in Bhagavad Gita that the complete whole, all right, is comprised of the supreme control. The control living entities, the cosmic manifestation. That means, example, we see in Bhagavad Gita the complete whole. I mean, the complete whole, the complete thing is comprised of what? What is the ingredient? What is there? What you can find? Okay, first you find the supreme controller. Then secondly, you see the control living entities. Then you see the cosmic manifestation. Then you see eternal time, kala, karma or activity. And all these are explained in this text. All these taken completely form. All these taken completely form the complete whole. All these taken completely to form the complete creation. Right? In this house, okay, I have me, I have my wife, I have my children, I have my things, I have my whatever furnitures, everything is there. So with this complete thing in this place, my house is complete. I give an example. So in the complete whole of this house, I need to have all these things. So the complete whole of the Lord is what? First, Krishna as the controller. Second, the Jiva as the controlled. Third is the cosmic manifestation, the creation of all this material universe and all these kind of things. Cosmic manifestation is not only material, but also Vaikuntha Loka and all this place. Then also Kala, the eternal time. And of course, there is activity karma. So by looking at these, all these completely formed, all these things formed the complete whole. And the complete whole is called the supreme absolute truth. So what is the complete whole? It is also called the supreme absolute truth. In Tamil, we call Paramporul. Paramporul. Even Paramporul. Paramporul. Supreme absolute truth. The complete whole and the complete absolute truth. So now, first the complete whole, if the complete whole is also called the complete absolute truth. Paramporul. Who are they? Who are these? What are these? These are the personality of God, it's Sri Krishna. The complete whole, the complete absolute truth, these are known as the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. All manifestation are due to his different energies. And these different energies, he is the complete whole. Right? It is also explained in Gita. It is also explained in the Gita that impersonal Brahman is also subordinate. He is also subordinate to the complete supreme personality, Brahman, right? All right. So it is also called the supreme, it's subordinate of the complete supreme person. Brahmanohi pratistaham. Brahman is more aptly explained in Brahma Sutra. It is like the rays of the sunshine. Or in other words, what we understand? We understand it is as an aura. You know, everyone always got an aura. So Krishna has his aura, and that aura is called Brahma Jyoti. Okay? And it's shining rays of the Supreme Person. Okay? Impersonal Brahman is incomplete realization. Right? So if aura is incomplete, just like a shadow, it reflects when there's light. But aura that comes from the body. Right? Just like the bulb producing light. So just the light, it is an incomplete realization. All right? And also the conception of Paramatma. In the 15th chapter, now in the 15th chapter, we shall see that Supreme Person of Godhead, Purushottama, is above the impersonal and partial realization of Paramatma. So in chapter 15, we will understand, all right, we will study that impersonal Brahman and the partial realization of Paramatma. That means the yogis are sitting and doing meditation. They are only achieving the partial realization. Why? Because Paramatma is localized expansion. Right? So from the first Krishna, Balaram, then from Aniruddha, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna. Then from there is the second plenary incarnation. Then from there came Mahavishnu, Lord Narayana. And then he goes into that Shiro Dakshai Vishnu. No, Karna Dakshai Vishnu, the cause. Then from the Karna Dakshai Vishnu, he will be in the water. And from the water, all the bubble will come out from the body. And from the bubble, he expanded further. He entered into every bubble as Garbho Dakshai Vishnu. And after he enters into every bubble from the navel, created Brahma and all the 14 planetary system. Then after that, for activate all the things to move, he expanded further as Shirodakshay Vishnu. And Shirodakshay Vishnu got 3 characters. Number 1 is all pervading. He enters into every atom. So everything start to work, everything will start to function. Number 2, he also expanded as the Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the one who maintains that particular universe. And number 3, he also became the Paramatma that lives in your heart. So by understanding this Paramatma, by not looking at all the function from Krishna, how it came down, it is only a partial realization. All right? Partial. And I remind, know that this is only one universe. Like that, got millions of universes. So what did Prabhupada say? Prabhupada gave this thing. You just take 1 kilos of, what seed is that? Mustard seed. You know mustard seed? Kadugu, what they call kadugu neera, kadugu illa. Theriyuma mustard seed nani? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
What do you call
The
that?
black one.
Tamil என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க? Kadugu.
Kadugu.
They call kadugu, right?
Yeah, kadugu.
Or in Malay, we call biji sawi. Yes or not? Biji savi. அது ரொம்ப சின்னதா tiny-ஆ இருக்கும். So tiny, so small and tiny. You know? Even when you take 1 palmful, you can have at least few hundred or thousands of kadugu, right? So he says, just imagine you have taken 1 kg of mustard seed, and each mustard seed is actually each universe. Imagine how much of universe are there, right? So just all that, by not thinking about all that, but just thinking of meditating and getting deep in yourself, is only a partial realization. All right? And also Krishna is called as Sachit Ananda Vigraha in Brahma Samhita. What is Brahma Samhita means? All right? Brahma means what? Not Brahma. Samhita means collection. The collection of realization. Collection. All right? Brahma Samhita begins in this way. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. Govinda, Krishna, is the cause of all causes. He is the primal cause. Sarva Karanam is the real cause. And he is the form of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Eternity means what? Sat. Knowledge means Chit. Bliss means Ananda. Alright? So he has a body. But impersonal Brahman realization is that he is Sat eternity feature. Paramatma realization is the realization of Sat Chit, eternal knowledge. But realization of personality of Godhead, Krishna, and realization of transcendental features, Sat Chit Ananda, eternity, knowledge, and bliss is complete Vigraha form. Or in other words, what he says, the impersonal Brahman, they are set in eternity. That means they say the light is eternal. So they have a partial realization of Sat. And those who sit and meditate, Paramatma realization is what? Sat Chit, eternal knowledge. Okay? Sat Chit. That's it. So that means the Mayavadi, they only talk about Sat, eternal. The Paramatma realization, they go deep into the heart to find out the Paramatma. They only know Sat and Chit. That's it. But the most important is also is Satchit Ananda, Vigraha. All right. So that's the thing. So Krishna is realization of all transcendental features. That means you have to be realized Krishna in all. First, he's eternal. He's got full of knowledge. But after that, he also got something else. Ananda. Beautiful, blissful, Anandam. In Tamil, we call Anandam. Alaguna beauty. Anandamna is a bliss. Anandam. And what? Vigraha, he got a body. That is a complete realization. Then, people with less intelligence. People with less intelligence consider the supreme truth to be impersonal. That is who? Those are less intelligent people. Sometimes we don't want to associate less intelligent. Correct or not? Even during the school days. All right? Even during the school days, when we see someone who are not really clever, stupid, they got, they are distinct. We usually don't like to associate with them. Do you all agree with me? Even in our college, university, sometimes if you see some dull-headed guy, we don't want to associate. Do you agree with me? You have experienced that? Gandhi Mataji, Karpia Mataji. Nanda Devi Mataji, Sadguna Mataji, Vaishnava Kripa.
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Definitely.
It's natural, right?
Yes, very natural.
Yeah, sometimes you see people are like lot less intelligent. Yeah, no point talking to him. Any one of you don't have experienced that? I hope everyone have experienced that, right? So like that, similarly, we as once we realize our realization with truth, when we see less intelligent people, we just push them aside. We are not trying to be nasty, but that is practical. Nobody like to associate with foolish people. So these people, less intelligent or foolish people, they always believe the supreme truth as impersonal. They cannot understand that God has formed. And he's a transcendental person and is confirmed in all Vedic literature. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanam Katha Upanishad. Canto 2, chapter 2, text 13. As we are all individual living beings and are, okay, now, this is the one. Okay, this is what I found. Please underline this statement. Please, this is what I've been looking for. All right. So please underline this statement. Katha Upanishad. Okay. No choice. I do use my pen to underline. You know what, my children. All right. Okay. What it says here? Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetanam. What does that mean? In Katha Upanishad, chapter 2, it says that we are all individual living beings. Please remember that. We are all individual living beings. We are all individual. First thing. Okay. Okay. So it says that we are all, what is this? Where is the thing? Okay. We are all what? Individual living being. Please highlight that in your book. And number two, second statement, we have our individuality. We have our individuality. Okay. We have individual living beings and we have our individuality. You are individual in this material world and you remain as individual once you go back home, back to Godhead. So being an individual, you see your thumbprint, your way that you look, your everything is authentic, right? And the Supreme Lord also, the Supreme Personality, truth is also, is an ultimate issue. A person, no, I think first thing I have to go and buy a mouse. Where is the things not functioning? All right. Okay. So, the ultimate issue and the person, all right, and the realization is the realization of all transcendental feature in his complete form. Again, all have this. Right. We all have, as we are all individual living beings, have our individuality. The supreme absolute truth is also individual. Is in the ultimate issue. Is also, but in the ultimate issue, is ultimately individual. Okay, a person is a person, and realization of personality is okay. And a person and realization of the supreme personality of Godhead is a realization of all transcendental features of the Lord in his complete form. So we as a person, we are individuality, we are person, we are individual living being. How can that God is nothing? That is the foolishness of Mayavadas. The complete whole is not formless. If he is formless, then he's less than any other thing. Then he cannot be complete whole. The complete whole must have everything within our experience. That means the complete whole must have everything within our experience and beyond our experience. Otherwise, it cannot be complete. This is something amazing. All right? What he says? says that must have everything. Must have everything or what? Within our experience. Then also the second statement is beyond our experience. Okay, how to know? Okay, let's discuss this. How to identify this? The complete whole must have everything. So in other words, if you feel angry, the anger is in Krishna. If you feel lusty, the lust is also there. If you feel like fighting, the tendency to fight is also there. If you want to have quarrel, the quarreling mentality is also there. Right? What is that greatest feeling? What is the greatest feeling in loving relationship? Okay. Hello, are you there? Everyone is there? Okay. So everything. Now say like for instance, the computer, sometimes they say, right, in some old ancient temple in India, they have a drawing, a girl with a heel, a cycle, and the computer and everything. All these things about, and of course, people the sentimentally say, no, look at our Indian culture, so great. They could foresee 5,000 years ago, they could foresee that everything. No, all these things are already predicted to happen. Girls will have a short hair, they will have heels, there'll be a cycle, they'll be holding a computer, and there's one statue looks like having a handphone, right? So all these things are, and all this one we didn't realize. We were thinking, oh, there's kind of artist impression, but after we have it, hey, oh, look at that. So something like that. So everything that we have in this world, it is actually whatever things we have, it's also available in that complete whole. So now as what Prabhupada says, the complete whole must have everything within our experience. So all the things that we are experiencing it is there. And also something that beyond our experience, also there. All right? Otherwise, it cannot be complete. So with this, we end the session today here. So we open for question. Any questions, any comment? The complete whole. Hare Krishna. Wow. We are only in page 13. We have got how many pages to go? What? Until page 13. Yeah. 17 more pages. So any questions? Do you think that we are doing right, or shall we just read through this and go straight to Bhagavad Gita? What is your opinion?
Prabhu, can I ask something, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
You just recently you talked about Sachidananda Vigraha. Sachit Ananda. Then what about the Chandani, Haladani? What for that kind of explanation?
That is actually the spiritual potency. Ladini, Samvit, and Sandini.
Okay, thank you.
It's a potency of Krishna, the spiritual potency. The body is made of Sachit Ananda Vigraha. But the potency, the Ladini Shakti, the internal potency, external potency, Samvit, Ladini, that's a potency.
Thank you.
I'm wearing this body, but I'm wearing this chadar. It's a potency. So something like that. Okay, any questions or any comment? So I was thinking while I was reading, it say like if you can make a summary of this, all right? Say now we have already studied this much of what they call up to the teachings up to chapter 15, all right? So whatever things that we have read, if you can just summarize it, write a summary of this. You summary means that means you have understood the subject matter. You write a summary, and if you want, you can send to me, right? So we can study the summary to find out whether you have really understood the subject.
Prabhu,
Right? Yes.
Prabhu, there was one time classes by Banu Maharaj
Okay.
from Chennai. The name of the class itself, Bhagavad Gita for advanced devotees. So very difficult to catch up with it, Prabhu. And on top of that, he says, don't read Bhagavad Gita. You read the introduction, you know Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
So why you want to cut short, Prabhu?
Oh, okay. Oh, I understand. Okay. No, I am okay. But I feel like sometimes, oh, why is it so long-winded and everything, you know? Is it all okay for everyone? Gandhi Mataji, Sadguru Mataji, Nanda Mataji, Karpiya, Saras Mataji. So we study, there's a, yes, Gandhi Mataji.
I'm okay. Actually, yes. I think we had this discussion and you asked the same question. Yes.
Right?
Yes. We said go through the introduction.
And for everyone's information, I am myself mesmerized with the introduction. I don't know how many times I've read this introduction. But today I'm reading, of course, maybe, I think all started by reading Bhakti Loka, the book by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And no, I think Bhakti Loka is like totally an eye-opening. What do you think? We went through so much detail. Now start to understand so many things. Maybe it's Krishna revealing. Actually, it's not our effort. Okay. Is there any questions? Any more comment? No. All right. If there's no questions, no comment. So I suggest that if it's possible, if those who are free, so if anyone is free, so if you can just make a summary of what you have read, all right, maybe up to this paragraph, just give a short summary, summarize, and you can write it down and use a cam scanner to take a photo, right, or scan it. You can a PDF or what you can send to me, so that I would like to see that how much depth that you have understood. It is not a must, it's optional, all right, so that you could come to a good understanding, right? The goal is every one of us must understand Gita as it is. Okay. Till then, have a beautiful day. We meet again tomorrow on 16th May at 9 o'clock. Tomorrow is Friday. Okay. So we meet again tomorrow. We continue discussion on Bhagavad Gita. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhyavacha paditanam pavinibhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Guru Varga ki jai. Srila Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to the assembled duty. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day.